Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Ambassador Furman. Appreciate you and the hard work you're doing. This is an important hearing, and I appreciate you coming and agreeing to participate now. Before addressing today's topic, I really want to discuss our efforts to renew Trade Promotion Authority, or TPA. Now, I've been racing this with you and the administration now for years, and frankly, I can't quite understand why the administration doesn't get behind you and get this done. You know, I joined with my colleagues in the House and the Senate on a bipartisan basis to come up with the Trade Priorities Act, and that bill renews and modernizes TPA. It's a bipartisan bill. It's something that makes a lot of sense. But shortly after introduction, the Finance Committee held a hearing on the bill, and at that time I wrote to you, Ambassador Furman, and formally requested you appear at the hearing. Despite the President's call for TPA renewal, no one from the administration attended. At the time, I noted how important it was for the administration to publicly and forcefully advocate for congressional renewal of TPA. And over the next several months, I urged you and others in the administration to be more active in advocating for TPA renewal, that is, making it clear that the legislative window was rapidly closing. And despite my various calls for action and the calls of other senators on this committee, the administration's efforts have been anemic in this regard. As a result, we are 6 months later, no closer to considering TPA legislation than we were in January. Now, I don't have to tell you, Mr. Ambassador, without TPA, the administration lacks congressional authority to negotiate and conclude trade agreements. And if the administration chooses to negotiate and conclude a trade agreement, such as a Trans-Pacific Partnership or even in principle, without having TPA, they're going to be doing it without Congress's authorization, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Congress involved. And if this happens, I doubt Congress would grant such an agreement the fast-track procedural benefits associated with TPA. At that point, Congress may simply consider the agreement on its merits under its regular rules and procedures, and that might not be very good, at least under some of the past things that have happened. I think the President's trade agenda is at risk if we don't do this. Now, I'm disappointed in the efforts I've seen thus far, and I hope they'll improve in the future. I support AGOA. Mr. Chairman, I ask that all my full remarks be placed in the record as though given.
Without objection, so ordered.
But I'm for AGOA. It's something that we ought to do. It's something we must do. We do that just because it's a great thing for our African countries that are involved. And it's the right thing for us as well. So I'm going to support that as strongly as I can and support you in your efforts to get that done. But I really want to bring home once again how important TPA really is. And that we should not keep putting it off. I presume the President, if he wants to do it at all, will probably try and do it in the lame duck. It's called lame duck for a variety of reasons, one of which is hardly anything ever gets done there. That has not always been the case. There have been some things done there. But I'm really concerned about it because I think that it puts you and your work way behind, as far as I'm concerned, at least as far as getting congressional approval, which is essential in these matters. But in any event, Mr. Chairman, I intend to support you and Ambassador Furman on AGOA and get that done as soon as we can.
Well,